Okay, I'm gonna do a tier list for my free-to-play account. Who do I regret pulling the most, and who do I not regret at all, and who's actually been good investment, good pull for my account. So let me change some of these. I'm gonna just like change the text. Another thing is there's a lot of characters that I have and just like don't use. Okay, well first is Columbina. This is obvious, no regret at all. She's been really good for this, lunar shill that's been happening in like the Abyss and Stygian. And she's also just really good. She's kind of viewed like a support. More practically, she's just kind of a really good sub DPS. Decent hydro applicator and just enables all the lunar stuff, and it's really fun. Arlecchino is a no regrets. Now, my Arlecchino is one of the strongest characters on my account, just because of how well invested she is and how well she's built. But yeah, I mean, I got Arlecchino on her first banner. I got her signature on her first banner. And during that time, she was considered to be the best Pyro DPS, so I didn't regret it at that time. And Arlecchino just has like really flexible team options, like really short rotations. She's a little bit interesting because, you know, she can't be healed. I think her Bond of Life mechanic is cool. Although I think they could have easily just like ignored the Bond of Life mechanic and then done something else. Like they could have given her like a meter instead of using the Bond of Life. And then just been like, okay, yeah, and she also doesn't get healed. But I think they felt obligated to use the Bond of Life mechanic that they created in Fontaine and just like try to do something with it last minute. Like if you remember, they released Arlecchino and Loran last minute with like these Bond of Life mechanics, and basically no other characters take advantage of it. It's only them. So it's kind of interesting. How do I feel about Child? Interesting. He's definitely not used often anymore. Do I regret him though? The thing is, he's really fun to play. Like, really satisfying to play as well. So I think I'll just put him in benched. I don't use him anymore because he sucks. Like, he's just not good these days. But he's really fun. Like, Child himself has never really been, like, that strong, I don't think. He's just kind of been an enabler for Xiangling, who was relatively strong previously. So let's get limited 5 stars up in here. Li I don't have. Zhongli I don't have. Maybe instead of not built, I can put like characters that aren't built and benched. And then I can do like want to pull. Ganyu I don't have. Don't have Eula. Don't have Ayaka. Don't have Yoimiya. Raiden. Okay, I've talked about this before, but I regret Raiden. I did get her at a pretty bad time. Like, when I pulled for her, she was sort of like falling out of like the meta in terms of her DPS playstyle, like her on-field playstyle. It kind of wasn't really that strong anymore, unless maybe you had like constellations. I think I pulled her towards like the latter half of like the Hyper Bloom era, when Hyper Bloom was really good for free to play. Technically, Raiden is better than, you know, Kuki because Raiden hits faster. I just regret it because I already had C2 Kuki. The healing is nice on Kuki, so even though Raiden is technically better, I just like super regret it. I really liked Hyper Bloom teams, but I think she just wasn't a big enough improvement for me to justify pulling her. Beidou I don't have. Don't have Xiao. Don't have Futao. Kazuha. Kazuha is interesting. I think I'm gonna go no regrets just because I play him like basically all the time. I mean, I just used him in this most recent Abyss. Did I use him in Stygian this time? I did because of the guy at the very top, like the mushroom guy, needs grouping. And Kazuha was really good there. So I think Kazuha is just still good for grouping reasons. His buff is like kind of whatever, but the fact that he has good crowd control and is a VV holder, good enough for me. And I think he's still gets used all the time and basically most content that I have to clear. Don't have Kokumi. Don't have Ito. Don't have Shenhe. Okay, Yai is interesting. I actually want to pull Yai. It's because I really want to have a Yai Tainari team, like really badly for some reason. I know it's aggravate is just like not great, but or like like aggravate spread teams are just like not that great these days. But Tainari is one of my favorite characters to play. He's just super fun. Also, Yai shares the same birthday as me, so that's another reason. Yato don't have. Okay, Yelan. I think this is just a no regrets. She's my first limited 5-star actually. Yelan carried me. I remember the team I used to use in the Abyss all the time was Yelan, Xingqiu, Bennett, Zhongling. She had her time, her moment in Hyperbloom teams, and after that, she basically has cemented herself as the last slot in my Skirk team. So she's basically never not been used. So yeah, no regrets at all. Don't have Sino. Nahida. Oh, Nahida. I think Nahida is benched. Ever since the release of Lauma, I just don't see where Nahida is better. And even in Nefer teams, the only thing Nahida is good for in Nefer teams, honestly, is just reducing the ER requirements of Llama. And that's kind of it. Because if you want EM share or like EM buffs, you're much better off using Sucrose than Nahida. But Nahida does have the benefit of reducing ER requirements for Llama, which means you can build more EM on Llama, or if you're just struggling to reach ER requirements in the first place, you can use Nahida. But I think for the most part, she's basically benched. Let me put all the limited 5-stars at the top, actually. Okay, I think I put all the limited 5-stars at the top. Hopefully I didn't miss any. I'll scan it over again afterwards. So Wanderer, don't have. Baiju, Loki is a want to pull. I think having a Dendro applier or applicator plus healer is like such a nice role that I want. And I know I have that with Yao Yao, but the problem with Yao Yao is she requires like field time to heal. And that becomes kind of just an annoyance when you're playing her. At least to heal well. Like, obviously she has her skill which heals. For the most part, to get like her really good healing, you need to use her burst and be on field and stuff. Hytham, he's kind of a want to pull. Like, I've always kind of wanted him, to be honest. I really like want to make aggravate teams work, but I think the problem with Hytham is just I'd rather play Inari, I think. So I'll put him in don't have. Nuvolette. I really wanted to pull Nuvolette until I played him. When I played him, I really just didn't like it because his gameplay felt really uninvolved. Because you just hold your charge attack thing, then you let go, and then the damage just happens for you. And all you have to do is like point at people. And while some people might find that fun, I think it's pretty uninvolved and kind of boring, so I didn't really like it. So I'm just gonna put him in don't have. Linny, not really interested, don't have. Risley, don't have. Brina, I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, no regrets. Like, he's maybe falling off a little bit because the damage percent means a lot less these days in the lunar reaction meta, but people are still using Farina in like Lynn's teams, for examples, and even Nefer teams, just because her hydro application is just like really convenient. And I think Farina just cements herself as, you know, one of the best pulls you can make in this game. Maybe not so much now. Like if Farina ran now, I would be hesitant to pull her, but Navia is low-key I want to pull. I think I do like characters that sort of have like nukes. I think it's kind of fun. But I think at the time I was probably saving for something else, someone else, so I just didn't get her. Oh, Clarand. Do I regret her? I think this is a benched situation. She's kind of in the same boat as Child, where the thing is, Clarand is like actually decent. Like, you can make her work for sure these days. Doing 1, 2, 3 shots and then using her skill, and she does like a dash. And like there's positioning as well, like positioning yourself so that in like AoE your shots are hitting like as many people as possible. I just haven't had a reason to play her. So maybe I might have tried using her in Stygian a few times. She's low-key kind of the GOAT in Imaginarium whenever you have Electro, because she makes quick work of those AoE chambers in between bosses where you just gotta like kill a bunch of enemies. She's really good at handling those. So Cloud Retainer is interesting because I kind of stopped using her entirely once my Farina got locked to my Skirk team. And, you know, the previous combo was like having Cloud Retainer and Farina just basically always together. But now that Farina is locked to my Skirk team, Cloud Retainer is benched, unfortunately. So if I'm playing Varessa, most of the time I'm just playing her with Traverse. I'm not really playing her with Cloud Retainer, so don't have Emily. Don't have Mulani. I was about to put don't have in for Kanich, but I actually do have Kanich. So I guess the thing is I think I got Kanich by complete accident. Like if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a banner with Traverse on it. That was probably the reason why I ended up getting Kanich. I was probably trying to get Traverse Constellations, and Kanich just showed up early. That's probably what happened. So because he was an accident, I don't really regret pulling him because I wasn't really trying to. But I guess I'm just gonna put him in benched. If there is one thing, when I decided to finally explore, like finish my exploration in Natlin, he was on that team 100% of the time. So that was really nice to have vertical mobility. Aside from that though, like combat usage, I never use him. I don't think I've used him a single time. Like, I can't remember the last time I used him in combat scenarios. Don't have Chaska. Let's talk about Malika. There's a part of me that wants to pull her just because I think it would open up a lot of possibilities in terms of like learning some new combos, and I think it would give me, you know, I think it would be fun for me, like a player like me who likes to optimize that sort of stuff. It's kind of weird because I kind of have like a bias, I guess, or like a grudge against Mawika just because of how unbalanced she is, just how overtuned she is as a character made me not want to pull her. I think if I'm being truly honest, truly realistic, she's definitely a want to pull. I think it's just a little bit disingenuous of me to say like, oh, I don't want to pull her just because, you know, it feels wrong because she's too unbalanced. It's like, I literally have a Scaffier who is also kind of the same way, like just a pretty unbalanced support in their category. But at least a Scaffier has like restrictions, I guess. Mawika has gone to the point she's kind of the best in slot support on any team that doesn't have like party restrictions, because you just put her on scroll and she does so much damage that she's just the best in slot support. Like, you put her on scroll, it buffs your team, it buffs her. All you do is you swap to her, you burst, maybe do like a few spins, and then swap off and play the other character that you're actually playing. And like, in those teams, you would have just gotten more value by playing Mawika on field instead of that character. And I think when it gets to that point, you know that the character is extremely overtuned. But if I'm being completely honest, I do want to have her. I think her like combos and stuff look really fun to try and learn. And also she would make for a pretty good last slot in my Varessa team, which right now I'm just using Pyro MC. And I think having a Mawika there would be awesome. Shalonen, I think I'm gonna put Shalonen in used often. I definitely don't regret her. There is a part of me that, if I could, I think I would trade out Shilonen for Sitlali, who we'll get to. I think the fact that I already have Kazuha and Sucrose built, I feel like I didn't really need another Res Shredder, and the truth is, I just don't use her as like a healer either. The real biggest thing about Shilonen is that not only is she a Res Shredder, but she can also hold Scroll, and Scroll is just a really good set. And that kind of feels like the only reason to use her, is just as a Scroll holder. And so we're going to talk about Sitlali. Sitlali is a 1000% want to pull. Sitlali makes for a decent Skirk last slot. And also, I could finally have Arlecchino's best team, which is Melt. That's our best archetype. Definitely something I really want to do. So I think the next time Sitlali comes around, I think I just have to do it. Like, I just have to get her. And let's talk about Veressa. So if you don't know the Veressa banner, the most recent banner that happened on Veressa, the 4 stars on it were Chevreuse, Yansan, and Gaming. And I was just going to pull on it no matter what, because one, I wanted C6 Chevreuse for my Arlecchino, and Yansan, you know, I didn't really want her that much until I pulled Veressa by accident. Like, you know, I was only maybe 30-40 pulls in, and Veressa just showed up. You know what? I might as well just wish a bit more and try to get some constellations on Yansan. I ended up getting like the C3, I think, which is, you know, it's whatever. But I did end up getting C6 Chevreuse, which was great for my Arlecchino Overload team. It was great for Veressa herself. And Veressa is also extremely fun to play, but I can't really regret her because I wasn't intending to actually get her. But after playing her, it's definitely a no regrets at all. Okay, Escoffier and Skirk. I mean, I think this one is pretty obvious. They make a great combo. They work well with Farina. I really don't have that much to say. They're still relatively strong. They helped me clear so many Abyss cycles and almost every Stygian. I think literally in every Stygian I've used them. So Llama, definitely a no regrets. And so Nefer is also going to go in no regrets. Obviously, Nefer carried me through the Lunar Shill. It's my only Lunar team, or it was my only Lunar team for a little bit until Columbina and Anefa. I'd say I have some thoughts about Nefer, and I kind of wish maybe I made a video about it when she first came out, but maybe I will on her next rerun. I have some issues with her. I think I'll leave it to when maybe she reruns next, and I'll talk about it then. But I do have some like issues with like her gameplay and stuff like that. But in terms of like how she actually performs, I have no comments. She performs insane. When I do the DPS dummy in Miliastra, she easily hits like 150k DPS. Which, by the way, I should make like a DPS test dummy Miliastra video at some point. Linz is low-key a want to pull. I think the only case scenario where I'll actually pull Flynn's is if I had a surplus of Primos and like I knew in the next patch following him there wasn't any characters I'd be interested in, so I could save up again. That's probably the only case scenario where I'd get him. Same goes for like these characters, to be honest, like these 4. Like, I'd only get them on banner if I knew really big stockpile of Primos. I knew in the next patch there wasn't going to be anyone I wanted. Then I would probably pull for any one of these characters. Okay, we have Anefa. Anefa is a no regret to almost like the highest degree. I had never built a shielder until Anefa. Like, I had sort of built Layla, but like, and I messed around with like maxing HP on Beidou and like using Beidou as a shielder, and like that was kind of trash. I don't know why I did that, but Anefa was like the first shielder especially limited 5-star shielder that I actually got, I was so anti-shield for the longest time because I would just be like, you know, just dodge. I realize now with the shield, it is so comfy. Like, you just don't have to dodge anymore. You can just sit around and do nothing and tank hits for free. It's crazy. Like, wow, you know, guy who never pulled Zhongli discovers shields for the first time, but like, you know, it's insane. Like, shields are insanely comfy, and it really helps a lot for like interruption. You get interrupted a lot in a lot of things in this game, and Enefa does monster damage with Columbina. It's insane. So definitely no regrets at all. Also, Enefa was super easy to build because you don't even have to actually level her talents or anything if you don't want to. If you level her burst, it just does more damage, like just her burst only. If you level her shield, it just increases the strength of the shield. If you actually want her to do more damage, you just have to get her to level 90 and like that's it. Really easy to build. She gets so much value for so little. So yeah, no regrets. I won't glaze her any further, but she is basically one of my favorite characters in the game as well. Like, her voice actor is really funny and her humor is really funny. So Durin is kind of in a sort of similar spot to Mawika, not because like he's OP or anything, but just as a last slot for Varessa, because I like playing my Varessa team a lot. Having a good last slot is pretty important to me and like pretty high on my list. And Mawika is probably the highest contender. Durin is not really on the same level, but still pretty good for Varessa teams. So I don't really know. I still want him, but I think he kind of falls in the same place as these characters where, I'd pull them in the right conditions. Zabai, same boat as Varessa. I was just pulling on the banner. I was doing single pulls. And I think it's because I like having, what's the currency called? It's either Star Glitter or Stardust or something like that. I forget. I like having Stardust so I can buy the wishes when the shop resets. And I know it sounds stupid because obviously it's not like a positive exchange, like spending wishes on a banner to gain Stardust to buy the wishes in the shop. Like, it's not an even trade. Somehow my brain just like justifies it. I did barely any pulls and Zabai just showed up. I guess I got lucky. But yeah, I did very few pulls and I was literally just doing single pulls. Maybe I should check my wish history and I can say the exact number, but I did very little pulls and she just showed up. I definitely don't regret her at all. She's been really fun to play. I think when she first got like drip marketed, I was like, this is the best looking character in the game. I'm not even kidding. Like, I saw her design and I was like, this is the coolest character I've ever seen. Yeah, I definitely don't regret her. Varka, don't have. Linnea, want to pull. And I will pull Linnea. So, and I think that's it for a limited 5 stars. Found a few more that I missed actually. So Sijuin, don't have, don't want. Chiari, don't have, don't want. Nilu, low-key want to pull, but same deal as all these 6 characters here. These are all pretty conditional. I'd only pull them in certain scenarios. These characters are pretty high priority for me right now, like in terms of what I'm looking towards next. Raiden is kind of my biggest regret, where I intended to actually get her on the banner. I got her and I regretted it. She's kind of the only character on my account like that. And characters I got by accident, like Zabai, Kanich, Varessa, like all of those characters, I kind of hard to rate them. Varessa and Zabai are like kind of the only ones that I actually use. Kanich I don't use anymore. I could rate the characters like within the tiers, but I think I'll just do that for this here, from most regretted to least regretted, I guess. In the no regrets, technically there are characters I don't regret more, if that makes sense. I don't regret these less, and I don't regret Nefer the least, I guess, if that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making sense. But if I were to rate them in the category, I don't regret these characters, but if I were to like prioritize getting them again, I would get them in this order. Now, Arlecchino is an off case because she's C1 R1. I think realistically, like, she'd probably just be like down here maybe, but the fact that I have her C1 R1 and her build is cracked out of like insanely good, she's one of the best characters on my account by far. So like she kind of, because of her investment, she kind of rivals Nefer on my account. But yeah, I think that's it. I guess maybe, you know, if I were to do another tier list, I could rate them based on like how well they perform, but this is kind of it. These characters perform well at the top here, and these characters don't, so I don't use them. And that's just kind of how it works. I could do something like 4 stars as well, like maybe on some other one, but I've already been recording for an hour. Who knows how much dead air or like useless commentary I cut out of this, but I think this has already gone on for too long, so I'm just gonna call it. If there's any like ideas you have for me for like tier list related stuff or anything in general, don't be afraid to leave a comment about it. And also do all the YouTube stuff, you know. I plan on making more videos, so you can subscribe if you want to see more. And if you like the video, then leaving a like just tells me that, you know, make more of this content. So, but yeah, I'm gonna head out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.